You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Woo! Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, Coach He's in Crime.
Good day, good evening, and good night.
You play an awesome bass, my
Thanks,
brother.
man.
Michael, the man himself, Mike Coy. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I've been looking forward to seeing you tonight.
I like that startup, man.
Thanks, man.
That's smooth.
Little groove.
Yeah, get groovy with us, man. Come on. That's so... I got tickets to, I forgot to tell you, before we give our introduction, guess who I got tickets to? I bought Lisa and I tickets to Nicole. She's playing at the Dr. Phillips.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Ikirami is how you say it. She's a jazz singer. Ikirami.
I don't know.
He tells me every day I get it wrong.
Really good.
Her dad, Roger, tells me. So check us out. This is mine and Mike's 1 hour vacation for the week. This is the 1 hour we look forward to all week. And basically, we get together and talk about what we did over the weekend. We had a lot of fun this weekend. We had some ups, we had some downs, more ups than we did downs. And the downs wasn't so bad that the ups didn't take care of it.
I like that.
You see what I'm saying?
Nicely done.
Right off the cuff, bro. Right off the cuff.
Nicely done.
We met some awesome people this weekend. We're going to be talking about them. We're also going to be talking about some questions we got online. For all of you that I've got packages, the gift packages out. I was waiting for shirts. I kind of sat on them too long. Your packages are on the way. One of them got sent to the wrong place. One of them, it's just been a nightmare.
Yeah, but it fits me good.
It does look good on you.
Really good.
The video you saw in the beginning was me doing a review of a little Western revolver I got. That's on YouTube. You can check out the rest of that. I was super happy about that. You can reach us a couple different ways. My God, I'm taking a long time.
Do it.
262-345-7763. If you want to call the show for any reason, you got a question, you just want to tell us we suck, sometimes we do, we will not cut you off the air. We will just let you talk it out. We'll just apologize for a bad job we're doing.
Work out your problems right here on the air with us.
Just hash it out, man. We'll just give you a big hug and send you on your way,
We've
dog.
seen it before. It's not the first. It won't be the last.
There's been some bad ones out there. Oh, you can hashtag us at hashtag RROR right on the Twitter. Right, Mike?
The Twitter.
The Twitter. And you can, if you want, text us at that same number, 262-345-7763. We'll get your text. And, of course, right here on Facebook Live. Let me get us going up here, man.
Yeah, we got a technological cornucopia of
vomit. Technological cornucopia. God, dog, dude, I want you to spell cornucopia right now, real bad. So, hello to everybody out there. Hollow Point HP's listening. We got so many people listening tonight and checking us out on the show. Thank you for being out with us. And there's our pet alligator we named, and we forgot the name. And if you go back through all the shows and tell me what the name of that is, I'll send you a shirt.
We should.
Our shirts will be in Friday. Todd got them all done. I was supposed to pick them up this week. It's just been crazy, so our shirts will be in Friday. So me and you next week will be wearing a brand new shirt. Nice. We got several colors, so. But we actually need to do like a photo shoot and see.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, not you and I. Anybody but you. Would someone volunteer?
It's kind of like the big and tall man store, but different.
A lot of big.
Slightly different.
Not so tall. How about this short and round? I noticed when I tried my pants on the other day, they were more round than they were long. You know?
I know.
But we won't get into that, man.
Happen.
So our weekend consisted of, what do you guess, man?
I met the lady.
You met the lady. So Mike got to meet Cottonmouth. We haven't named the boat. So right now it's just Cottonmouth.
It's a really bad name for a lady.
Yes. We call her Cottonmouth.
Once you meet her, you'll know why.
That's a good one. Hi, Mom. That's funny. So Mike got to go out on the boat this weekend.
I did.
We set out we're shooting some video for stone crab traps. And you know what? And I'm learning some new stuff. I am learning some new stuff. They don't tell you on the website.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, so I mean, this is our first time. I've set crab traps out with other people. You know, and that's how I learned how to set stone crab traps out. So this is my first year actually setting the stone crab traps out myself. So this is a learning experience for me. I want to make sure I'm 100% right. I'm 100% right. There's no doubt about it. These traps are 100%. But I think there was a step I could have skipped that something else took its place, and we'll go over that in the video. So be sure to watch that video when it comes out on YouTube. We'll be.
I was impressed though because the diligence you showed in making sure that you were getting it right.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, including the shopping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Getting the wood doors and the name tags, and
Rodney's literally pulling up on the FWC website, I'm assuming.
That trap is built verbatim.
Yeah. Showing it to the sales guy when you're buying the traps and
saying, look, this is what I need.
That is great.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that.
Yeah.
Now, were you just surfing the web, or you were using
the
app?
No, I was using, I had it on the FWC app.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, that was the FWC app I pulled up. So
Yeah.
look, here's what this trap is supposed to look like. We're missing a vital piece, and I know now that what took the place of that vital piece. But it doesn't say that on the website.
Yeah.
There's a little rope there. That little hook that closes the trap is on that hooks to that rope. That rope is designed to rot away, and the bottom of the trap opens. But it doesn't say that on the website. It doesn't say that there.
Nor does it say it on the trap.
Nor does it say it on the trap. But I got word that hey, that does the same thing, and I'm like, no, it doesn't say that on the website. So we're gonna go with what the website says. There may be substitutions. There may be you can do this instead of. But on the website, that trap is verbatim exactly like the website says it. So
that's great.
As it stands right now.
Construction and all.
Yeah, construction and all. 2x2, 8 square feet.
No more than 3/4.
No more than 3/4.
Nicely done though, and in the video it'll spell all that stuff out.
Yeah.
And the process of work like anybody else would.
Yeah.
When they're digging in.
And I'll tell you this: if I get a ticket for that trap, I'm becoming a vegetarian.
Yeah. You should.
I should.
Rightfully so.
I just don't think I'd get as excited mowing the grass and hungry as I do on that boat watching all those fish.
But what a good time. The weather was great.
Weather was absolutely amazing.
Met some nice people, met some new people.
We met an awesome dude. So we're driving along and I see this bait pod, and I've stood on shore and watched these bait pods and watched my lure get just on the cusp of that bait pod and miss it, and then watch a boat drive right through these fish I'm trying to catch. So I thought to myself, I don't know this guy, but I want him to catch a fish as bad as I want to see him catch a fish. So I pulled up to shore. I yelled out, I said, hey, brother, how'd you like to come out here and, hop on hey, man, would you hop on the boat? I'm hoping he didn't think we'd abduct him, But he goes, heck yeah, man, I'm in. So, he hops on the front of the boat, and we take him out to the bait pod. And the gentleman's name is Jeremiah. So we had, we took him out there. The fish are jumping everywhere, and Jeremiah's on this front of the boat just tossing this thing out, trying to get these fish to bite. And he's like, dude, this is so cool, man. I've never had no one pick me up like that. And I'm like, well, I did, but I was a little kid at the park. This guy came up with candy and told me, hey, want a bait pod? There's a bait pod in the van. A little. I'm teasing, man. That didn't really happen. That was 12 when that happened.
Seriously?
But anyway, no. So I just thought it was cool, that we could throw Jeremiah on the front of the boat and try to pull something out of this bait pod. Now we were not successful, but it wasn't because we didn't try. You know what I mean? Because we gave it the old college try.
Of course.
So we chased this bait pod around for a few minutes. I don't have my trolling motor on this boat yet. I've got 2 trolling motors. I got a 50 and a 48-pound thrust. So, and it's just a matter of getting the information all set up, or not information, getting the boat all set up. So, I got to get that trolling motor on there. So I believe I would have helped him catch a fish. So he's standing on the front, but he had his girl. He was like, man, I got my girl up in the.
Careful
in the hairdresser. She's getting her hair done.
Getting her nails done.
Getting her nails done.
Let's
I'm
get it
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. And
she'd be like, I told you I was getting my nails done. You told them you're getting your hair done?
Now, his girl is Lisa. Her name is Lisa. She also tagged and said, hey, Jeremy, Jeremiah didn't. Oh, look at that bait pod right there, Mike. See, you just caught my attention right there. Yeah.
So this is it. This is real time here, or not real time. This was a couple days ago.
Yeah,
actually.
this is a couple days ago. Yeah, we drug him out, and I don't want. Let me see here. I want to make sure that that's his girl, Lisa, and not his sister. You know what I mean? I'm a. Let's see.
Rodney playing?
Something's in that damn school. Oh, there we are. Coming right at you. I'll hush my mouth for a second. Are you?
I told my girlfriend off to get her hair done.
Oh, you're in trouble, dog.
We might have a pair of shorts.
Ready? There you go, man. Now, we don't have this whole audio, right?
No.
Okay, you edited
audio glitched up really bad here in a minute.
Okay, we had
So
some
I'm gonna
audio
turn it down
glitch.
because
Okay.
that was my bad, Rodney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all me. So I'll kill the audio so I
Kill
don't hear
the
the glitch
audio.
and you can talk over it.
So we put Jeremiah right here on the front. Now we're chasing this bait pod, and he was like, dude, I've never had this happen, man. So turns out his girlfriend is Lisa.
Good clarification. You should.
Yeah, well, she tagged us. So she goes, Rodney, he didn't know that I knew who you were. I'm a longtime listener of the Monsters and listen every time you're on. You made his day by picking him up, man. I am so glad. It's just the 6 degrees of separation.
Exactly
is what I call
right.
It, you know,
it's a good moment in time.
We scooped up this dude. You know, we put him on the boat, and his girlfriend knows who we are, and now he'll never forget because he'll be that crazy dude that picked me up, put me on the boat, man.
Yeah. What a cool dude, though, Jeremiah.
Oh yeah, he was
that
awesome,
was
man.
Cool.
And that's what it's all about, dude. And I told him, I tagged him and said, hey, brother, next time I'm over there, we're gonna go. We'll drag some fish out. And he was like, dude, fishing pole's ready, and I'm ready to go. So we're definitely gonna hit him up, and say, hey, let's go catch some fish, because you got a guy that lives over there. He knows all the secret spots, and I'm all about finding somebody's secret spot, because I'll get up in the secret spot, long as I got you with me. Actually, the crabs that I was catching, I'm in somebody's secret spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm not telling anybody. It's top secret. Top secret. Email me $55 check. Send a cash or money order, and I'll show you the secret spot. So there we are, all on the boat hanging out. Jeremiah posted the picture. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. You made our day as much as we made
that was
your
a great
day,
time.
I assure you. It was certainly a great time for letting us scoop you up and drag you out on the boat. It wasn't long after that our fuel pump went out on that boat. So that was a lot of fun, man.
Well, it's like I posted. Rodney Rogers knows no strangers.
No. You know what?
Especially on the water.
You know what? Here, Mike, I've said it 1,000 times. Especially, yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, especially
Right?
on the water.
Yeah.
I've seen people with fishing hats on, and I just know, you just get that fishing vibe. You know they fish, and you start asking some qualifying questions. Kind of like the military when they call out the fake people. What's that called when they go imposter?
Yeah.
There's
There's
a term for it. I wasn't in the military. Thank you guys for your work protecting me. But they call them, they're called fake or imposter, whatever they're called. I do that to fishermen.
Impersonating, yeah.
Impersonating a fisherman. If you got a fishing hat on, you better be a fisherman. Because I'm going to say, hey.
Well, he's a fisherman because
He had a fishing pole.
Well,
his girlfriend was getting her nails done, and he says, I ain't waiting around for this. There's some water right over here. I'm going to go get the fish. I kind of don't blame him. I would have sat in for the pedicure, though, Jeremiah. You got, I may be a gator grabbing son of a gun, but I got to have pretty feet. You know what I'm saying? If a gator going to bite my foot off, he going to get a pretty foot, I assure you. I got to have my pedicures. My toes got to be pretty. Sometimes them nails get long enough to climb a sweet gum tree.
A sweet gum?
You ain't never seen a sweet gum tree?
No.
I ain't either, actually. I've just heard Jerry Clower say it.
But it sounds delicious.
I'm going to get me one of them there sweet gum trees.
So,
hey to everybody hanging out with us on the internet. That's who we got to meet this weekend. That was awesome. We actually went back, Lisa and I went back Sunday to see if we could put a crab on video so we could close out this video. So it looks like there just wasn't enough soaking time. So we kind of spread the traps out a little bit further.
Well, we kind of want to go back as soon as we dropped them in.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, matter of fact, we pulled away. And Lisa said, "You think there's anything in it?" And I'm like, "I don't even think the buoy's wet yet."
Yeah.
So it is stone crab season. You're allowed 5 traps per person.
You can save that because we're going to come back to that.
Yeah, we're going to come back
Part
to
of our
that.
current news.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
So just not to
Good deal.
save you the breath.
Okay. Whew. Mike, I've done
So
some
what
driving.
happened while we were out there?
So,
Because you have a brand new boat.
So we had a
Cottonmouth
brand
boat.
new boat, and it turns out that we pretty much had a clogged up filter. We had a dirty filter. The boat started spitting and sputters, wouldn't start, so I pumped up the ball and it would start. So I thought it was the fuel pump. So it seemed like the fuel pump was kind of working intermittently, so I was able to get us back to, thank God you noticed the boat ramp right there. So you and I pulled into the boat ramp, Ubered over to our vehicles, and which that boat ramp's right beside our crab traps anyway.
Yeah, it was funny.
I kind of like that. It literally took us 10 minutes to check the traps. It was like, put it in, go over there, and that was loading it up. So we got to do a little bit of riding Sunday. And we also, on our way out, we also stopped by, we went down 520 and went back to the St. Johns River. We dumped the boat right back in St. Johns River, and we did like a 5 or 6, 8 mile, 10 mile ride. And, man, we found this old house out there in the middle of nowhere. It's actually pretty cool, man.
It's a big place.
Oh,
out
man,
there.
dude,
There's a
that
lot of
place
nooks
is
and crannies.
ridiculous. And I was kind of depressed because my whole goal is to look for ducks while I'm out there. I'm looking for a new place to duck hunt, and I thought for sure St. John's and all these weedy and swampy areas would be loaded with ducks right now. Man, not one duck. I mean, not a fly over, not a fly up, not a fly by.
It's not a good sign.
I have not seen a duck. I hear there's a lot in South Florida, so I may ride the Okeechobee one weekend before season starts. We got about 3 or 4 weeks, so 3 weeks at least.
That's usually right around mid-November, right? Second or
Mid-November.
third one?
Yeah, exactly right. So, I'm hoping something fires up. If anybody's making comments on Facebook, I'm not seeing it. So, I don't know if there's nobody commenting.
Somebody give Rodney a shot.
Can I go camping with y'all? Lewis Pitt. Woo, can I go camping with y'all in
goodness.
December? Of course, Lewis. Absolutely.
Just fill out the questionnaire.
Yeah.
Send in the waiver.
Absolutely. Yeah. And $39.95.
And don't be psycho.
No, please don't be
Yeah.
psycho. No, but
So
yeah,
no, we're kidding. You can be psycho.
you can be psycho. And we got a whole island you can be psycho on. That's a horror movie right there, ain't it? Don't even.
Well, we thought it was.
Yeah.
Year one.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we thought it
I remember that. Dude, so Lisa and I sat down and went through all the pictures from all the camping trips. This is our 4th year. This will be our 4th or 5th year.
Let's
4th year.
save that too, Rodney.
Okay, let's save it all.
Sorry, I missed the pre-production meeting and I failed.
Okay.
My bad. Failed to. Give
Something
you
tells
the
me
heads
you got a plan, Mike. So we have the camping trip coming up. We're going to be shooting out all the details. We have a meeting this Friday to organize the get-tos and the get-fros and the foods and and I will tell you this, Mike. Guess what I ordered? Guess what's on the way?
Oh, wait, for the camping trip?
Yes. Guess what'll be here?
Shower.
No. Oh, that's a great idea, though. Yeah. For those of you, there's no shower. I got a shower. I got me a shower. I got you a shower.
What could it be for the camping trip that you've ordered?
Remember that fire disc I wanted so bad that last year?
Fire.
Yeah, it's like a stand-up giant 2-foot walk kind of deal. Yeah, it'll be here tomorrow.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it'll be here tomorrow. And we're working something out with the fire disc people. I'm just saying.
Really?
I'm just saying, Mike Coy. We're working something. So what do you got, Mike?
I don't know.
I'm jabbering.
I just know everybody loves the fire disc people.
Well, they'll get to see how it works. Buddy, how are you?
Got some top stories, Rodney. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
It's always good. We've missed a couple weeks, so we're going to play a little
We have.
catch-up here. This just in, a reminder.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, hot off the press. Reminder. I think it's coming here. Reminder, Gulf Bay scallop season closed October 9th.
Yes. Ta-da.
That's it.
That question was asked to me today, by the way, at work.
Really?
Swear to God. Okay, Rodney, is scallop still open? I said, no. Next question, please.
Here's an interesting one I read, Rodney. And
Okay.
this, I'm going to take my time reading this.
Okay.
Okay? Because help plan the future of the Lake Toho. Say it for me. Toho.
Tohopekalaja.
Topelaja. I got a runaway. Hang on. I got a runaway.
There's a new
I got a runaway thing here. Give me a second. Everybody hates a runaway thing.
Everybody hates it. Okay, let's go back.
Lake Toho,
Lake Toho.
a 10-year plan.
Yes. Oh, really?
A 10-year plan, Rodney.
For the island? I've not seen this.
Yeah. So I want your take on this. Let me read this and bear with me because I was intrigued.
Okay.
A 10-year plan for the Lake Toho Island complex will be presented at a public hearing in Osceola County on Thursday, October 26th.
Tomorrow.
2 days.
Oh, this is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yes, you're right. Tuesday.
People are invited into the 7 p.m. public hearing at the Osceola boardroom, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Florida Fish and Wildlife FWC staff will present the draft land management plan for Lake Toho Island Complex, and people will be encouraged to comment and ask questions.
Okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Lake Toho Islands Complex consists of 2 islands.
2 islands. Yes.
Macassin,
Yep. And apparently they acquired the other one, which I don't know the name of.
Paradise.
Paradise Island.
Paradise
That's right.
Island.
Yes.
The plane.
Yeah.
And 2 shoreline accessed parcels managed by both Osceola County and the FWC. The islands are in the northern part of the lake within the Lake Toho Fish Management Area. Many perilled birds species
Yes.
live on the island, both Macassin and Paradise, including the wood stork, rose-8 spoonbill,
Yes.
Everglades snake kite, Florida sandhill crane, crested
Karaoke.
thank you, caracara,
Cara.
little
Yes.
blue heron, and tricolored heron. The island also provides habitat to the eastern indigo snake, a threatened species.
Okay, now hold on before you
Holding.
make another step.
Holding, Rodney.
You know where this is pointing, don't you?
Oops. No, where?
This is pointing to no camping, stay off the island.
Well, let's see.
Let's rope it off. Let's go ahead and finish reading.
My gut went there too.
Okay. Because
So-
anytime you get the threatened species, suddenly we're
So-
protecting no
so
more camping trips. Okay, go ahead.
So this is timely because this is two nights from now. To reach
Yeah.
the island, people need a boat.
Yep.
Duh. But once they arrive, there are opportunities for fishing, wildlife, viewing, and hiking. Lake Toho is known for some of the best freshwater sport fishing in the United States.
Right.
You know that. You've told us
Agreed.
and proved it many times. Another benefit for the complex, for the public, is the complex peaceful, natural landscape and its proximity to the busier tourist attractions of Central Florida.
Yes.
Insert here, the lake we're talking about, for those of you who don't know, Lake Toho, Macassin Island, is where we do our Christmas camping trip.
Yes.
So this has a
Direct effect.
direct effect and meaning to us.
Yes.
So, Native American history is also tied to the area. I did not know this. Macassin Island is believed to be the birthplace of Seminole Indian chief Coacuchi, who was captured in Florida.
Which ironically was my stripper name back in the day.
I get the connection now. That
See
makes
there? Yeah.
Before I didn't understand, but now
Now it all makes
makes
sense.
sense. Chief Coacuchi, who was captured in Florida and relocated to the Arkansas Indian Territory in 1841. I think we saw him at the Squirrel Cook-Off last year.
Yes,
I'm not
we
mistaken.
did. Yes.
So anyways, the Lake
Yeah.
Toho Island Complex was purchased to ensure the preservation of fish and wildlife resources.
I will assure you, there are no fish on that island. Zero fish.
Other natural and cultural resources, and for fish and wildlife based public outdoor recreation.
Okay.
Yes. This draft plan will specify how we intend to do that. So there's some hope in there.
So it sounds like they may want to change the other side into a camping area as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Maybe a little more structured.
Yeah, yeah.
All lands owned by the state of Florida.
Here we go.
All lands owned by the state of Florida were donated or purchased with public funds for conservation must have a management plan that ensures the property will be managed in a manner consistent with the intended purpose of the donation or purchase. Okay. So hunting and fishing regulations and matters specifically related to Lake Toho itself are not included in this plan or the
Okay.
meeting. Those are addressed in a separate public meeting.
Okay. So maybe we need to attend this.
Maybe.
I have a doctor's appointment, 5 o'clock in the afternoon from 4 to 5.
I'm just
so,
wondering if Todd. I mean, Todd's got an. I wonder if he's knows
Yeah.
anything what's going on
Yeah,
up here.
Todd, you're listening. Todd,
But-
Todd now would be a
I
great.
mean, obviously, if this was purchased and they're trying to hold it for a refuge,
Yeah.
refugee for wildlife conservation.
Yeah. If
So-
they did, it would be the Paradise Island. Not so much Mackenzie.
Well, we've seen it go from just totally come and go as you please to now being a managed
Yeah.
campsite where you have to book the campsites.
yeah.
So maybe this is taking it another
The next step, yeah,
further.
might
Who
be the
knows
next step.
what that means?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, who knows? But we leave the island there's not a piece of trash on that island. We actually pick up more trash than we
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
When we leave that island. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, Rodney. Stone crab claw season opens October sometime.
October 15th.
You knew this, right?
Yes.
October 15th in state and federal waters.
Yes. Yes. State and federal waters all the way through. And we're crab fishing in the state waters.
Well, one of the things we've had several people ask, and so I wanted to pull up real quick, is the declawing of,
Yes.
because they grow back, right?
Yes, they grow
They
back.
grow back. So I was able to snag a video on how to actually declaw these things.
Okay, right on.
I thought it was
From the
pretty-
FWC.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful.
Yeah. I think it's the wrong declaw.
That's the wrong.
Yeah. It's the other declaw. Yeah. That's a cat.
Oh,
That's a cat. Yeah. So if you got one a little bit different, maybe crab species. There we go.
My bad. My bad. Let's see.
15th each year in state and federal waters off the coast of Florida. To harvest a stone crab claw, first measure it from the elbow to the tip of the lower immovable portion of the claw. If the claw is more than 2 3/4 inches in length, it may be removed from the crab, and the crab may then be returned to the water. Care should be taken when removing the claw so as to not permanently injure the crab.
To hold the crab, take both claws, make sure you have both propotuses firmly in hand, and with the right hand I'm just going to make a motion straight down, which is a good break.
Stone crabs can regrow their claws, making this Florida delicacy a true renewable resource. To learn more about how to harvest stone crabs and regulations, visit myfwc.com/fishing and click on recreational and stone crabs.
If for some reason that was glitchy, you can go to the FWC's website. Go to their YouTube channel.
It was perfect. It played.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I'm watching it.
Perfect.
It played perfect. So right there, you see it. The claw must be at least 2 3/4 inches. Now, the biggest question I get is absolutely, can you remove both claws? And yes, you can.
However,
There's if they're both legal limit, you can remove both claws. They say, hey, use your discretion. If it's 2 3/4 inches, I will only remove one side. I'll leave the other one to grow a little bit more.
Okay.
I'll leave them at least with one.
that makes sense.
It's kind of a, it's your discretion. Claws may not be taken from egg-bearing stone crabs. They cannot be taken. Kind of like you cannot harvest an egg-bearing blue crab, and you can't harvest an egg-bearing lobster.
And again, this is something you can flip the crab over and see these eggs, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll see them right away.
Okay.
They'll be right at the bottom of their carapace. I think it's called a carapace.
If you turn them over and say, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah.
That's probably
If it looks like they're carrying caviar with them, drop them back in the water right away. Up to 5 stone crab traps per person. We actually only set out 3
Okay.
because the place only had they had 5 traps, but they only had 3 of the deluxe.
Right.
The Cadillac. We wanted the deluxe.
Right.
No device that can puncture, crush, or injure the crab's body. Traps may be baited and placed in the water 10 days prior. That basically means before the 15th, you set it out 10 days ahead of time. I will tell you, I do not agree with that. I think it should be 5 days. But hey, I'm not the FWC. Opening season, but may not be pulled into the water until the 15th. You are encouraged to only take one claw.
Okay.
They would rather.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking,
Because that is their protection, right?
it is their protection. Yeah, they don't eat with it. They do protect themselves with it. So yeah, it's it's their protection. They kind of pinch off stuff.
Sure.
So that's why if it's right at 2 3/4 or smaller, obviously you leave it. But it's got to be a real big claw for me to take both claws. So there you have it. Daily bag limit: 1 gallon of claws per person, or 2 gallons per vessel. So if you've got 3 people running 15 traps, you may end up with more than 3 gallons of claws. So I would suggest you only run about 10 traps per boat.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and you got to have that person in the boat. You better have 2 fishing licenses with you. The season will open through until May 15th of 2018, closing on the 16th. All your traps have to be out of the water. Stone crab regulations are the same in state and federal waters. And I'm going to tell you right, you go buy these stone crab claws in the store, you're paying, I saw them in Whole Foods at $29 a pound.
That's crazy.
It takes 3 claws to make a pound.
Wow.
Yeah. So
It takes 3 claws.
Yep.
Wow.
So you're getting about $10 a claw. If they're decent claws,
Sure.
you're getting about $10 a claw.
Wow.
And you'll harvest, 20 claws, in a couple gallons.
Okay.
2 gallons would probably be, 50 claws. So that'd be $500 worth of claws.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's real deal
Yeah,
money
you can
there.
only sell them if you're for
Right.
commercial fishermen. But
you're saving money.
look what you're
that's
saving.
the kick.
Yeah, you're saving. You're not saving money.
Who are we kidding?
kidding, man?
It's like the
Here's what we know. Mahi's about $940 a pound. Stone crab claw is somewhere around $370 a pound. Alligator is $7,240. We're not saving anything, dadgummit. We're out there for the experience, Mike. That's what I tell everybody. That's what I say, baby, we're out here for the experience. Don't even look at the bank statement when it just don't even, because I'll tell you what, I am so broke as a fisherman and a hunter, everybody thinks I'm on crack. You know what I'm saying? They think that I'm on drugs or I'm an alcoholic or something. Rodney, you ain't never got no money. And I'm like, have you seen the boat? Have you seen my hunting gear? It's hunting season. When hunting season comes at the same time as all these lobsters and crab, how can a brother get ahead in life?
I don't know that he can, Rodney.
He can't do it because my habits are. I had to give up golf because I couldn't afford it. Because a golfer walks around in pretty shoes and paint. I can't do that. I can't afford pretty shoes and paint. I had to give up my golf clubs, my golf balls, and focus on the real. Duck hunting. Duck is $9,000 a pound, man.
It's going up by the minute.
I kill 6 ducks a year.
It's going up by the minute.
It's getting worse by the minute, man.
Rodney, you know what we've got.
Let's do it, man.
We get lighters. We get
Stop, whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
On a top flight, hold you tight, get you there by daylight, give you right overnight mail.
There it is, Mike Coy. There it is.
There it is. Nicely done.
Hey, thank you, man. I know just about every. One of these days we're going to do that. Just you with the guitar, or me.
I like your spunk tonight, Rodney.
I like yours, Mike.
We have some good questions. This one comes from Jacob C. in Terre Haute, Indiana. Wants to know, what is a Texas rig?
I'd say if it's got the word line cutters on the side, them boys are from Texas, and that's one heck of a rig. No, but no, Texas rig is basically, it's one of the oldest worm fishing techniques out there. So basically, it's just a worm hooked through a rubber worm, and then a weight that slides up and down the line. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So as you drop the line, the weight drops, and then the rig comes down to it. Believe it or not, sometimes the Texas rig is just the way to go.
Is that kind of a standard?
That is,
from
I
the
mean,
day one?
if you're in your 40s and you learn how to rubber worm fish, you learn the Texas rig. I mean, that's it. And the opposite of that, and I don't know if this is a question coming up next, is a Florida rig is basically when you tie your weight down, that weight down to the to the worm itself. Guys from Florida started pegging them with toothpicks. They'd shove a weight, a toothpick in there and snap it off so it would hold the weight down by the worm, and that became the Florida rig.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so now they've got screw weight. Now it's
So is
just,
the Texas rig strictly with rubber worms?
No, you can do a Texas rig. It's the key is that the hook and the weight are separate.
Okay.
They free float, So be it a worm or a crawfish or
So
something.
the weight's
that nature.
keeping the whole thing down low, but then the worm is free to do
Yeah,
its thing.
yeah. So if the weight was sitting on the bottom, the worm
Got it.
could actually do its own thing, and then the weight come down to it. They just drop at different rates.
Okay.
That's all it is. Sometimes it makes all the difference in the world. So if you've never fished with a Texas rig, look it up. I'm telling you, man, you will not be disappointed.
Excellent.
Absolutely won't be disappointed.
Good answer. Curly T,
Come on, Curly.
Olathe, Kansas, says, what's the difference, Rodney, between a largemouth, smallmouth, and a spotted bass?
You know what? They're all in the carpulus family. Basically, I mean, the color is the difference. The two that will look almost exactly the same is the spotted bass and the largemouth bass.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just their mandible. Now, of course, the smallmouth they call bronze backs. It's totally different color. If you saw them side by side, you'd see that there's a huge difference. The spotted bass and the largemouth would be the hardest to tell the difference, and it's all in the mandible. How far back it sets behind the eye versus the largemouth. The spotted bass has a brighter pattern, as you know, is real prominent spotted pattern, the pattern that they have on the side. So if you saw them all side by side, you'd go, oh, I see, but if you catch them one at a time, it's a little bit different.
But the size of the mouth, is there a difference?
Yes, there is a difference. The largemouth is going to have the largest of the three.
It's clever.
The spotted bass will be second, and then the smallmouth obviously is exactly, they're the most aggressive of the two, from what I hear, is the smallmouth. I've never caught a smallmouth, so I really couldn't tell you. But I want to catch a smallmouth, so I would love to share that information. So I'm hoping it is.
All right.
Thank you, Curly.
Our next question comes from Lisa C. in Winter Park, Florida. Is it required to have a first aid kit on a boat?
No, it is not required, but it is recommended.
Okay.
Especially with me, because Lisa actually fell out on the rocks the other day, and the one thing I forgot was my first aid kit, and we ended up using a shirt to hold her together. You know what I mean? So I would recommend anything you do in the outdoors, first aid kit.
That Lisa.
Yeah. That Lisa.
Oh, I wasn't bringing any of that up. I was just throwing the question out there.
Well, I appreciate it.
This one's on you.
Yeah.
This one's on you.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa C, for that question. No, it's not required, but it is recommended. I have one in a box that I keep in a waterproof box. Safely. So safe, it wasn't even on the boat. That's how safe it was. So I recommend absolutely have a.
But there are no regulations.
No, there's
okay.
No regulation. Nothing says you have to have it.
It's almost surprising. You have to have a whistle and
you got to have a whistle to keep yourself safe, but
everything.
nothing says you got to save your own life. You know what I mean? Or stop your own. That's kind of discretionary. Yeah. I think that'd be borderline. If there is a regulation out there, if someone can tell me, but I don't know.
No, I don't think there is either. But
yeah,
it's surprising they haven't.
Now, when you come into like Todd's a captain of 100-ton. He's a 100-ton captain. So maybe the bigger the boat,
well,
I know.
Or probably like on a charter boat.
Yeah,
I bet
safety
there is.
things change.
Yeah.
The larger the ship. Flares change. The size and how some like on a bigger boat you can't have a. Our boat's so small we can have just a handheld flare. After a certain length, you got to have a flare that shoots up in the air. So
sure.
There's some
a commercial entity, especially if you're a commercial
absolutely.
charter company. I'm sure there are.
So let's just go. For fun. No, you don't have to have a first aid kit, but I would definitely recommend one.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Lisa.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Rick H. I understand the importance of structure, but how do I know if it's there?
There's a couple signs. This is what I key. Let me tell you a couple key ways to find out if there's structure when you don't have a depth finder. One is, obviously if you can see in clear water, you'll be able to see the bottom. You'll see some type of structure. And I'm going to tell you this, it doesn't matter if it's a single rock. If you can log where that rock is, sooner or later, there's going to be something on that rock.
Really?
Because if there's an area with a whole lot of nothing, that rock is going to hold everything. A lot of times you'll see one weed sticking up, just a little bitty weed, but underwater there's a whole bunch of weed. It's kind of like an iceberg, And another way is if you see a semi-calm moving water area and you see water boiling in one section, 99% of the time as the current flows, it's hitting something underneath the water and pushing that turbulence to the surface. So you know that most of the time there's something on the backside of that structure, especially in moving water with some type of current. And another great way is, this summer we had huge low water levels. So I took a pic of every lake I fish. I got several pictures. So when that water level shoots back up, I know where that structure is.
That's interesting.
So
that's actually very smart.
I can go to that lake. I can pull that picture up, and I know there's a tree right there. I know there's a pile of rocks. I know there's a big hole, and I know where there's a channel.
Sure.
So I've logged that all in, kind of my fishing pictures, and, so I know what's going on there. So that helps a lot. So keep your eyes peeled. Just pay attention to what the water's doing. And it's like our buddy Brian Pounds, told Lisa and I. Lisa literally looked at him and goes, how do you know where to find the fish? He goes, when you look around and everything looks the same, find something different. Voila. And there's no truer words than that statement right there, And she picked up on it. Now she's on the water, man. She goes, find something different.
Yeah. So a depth finder, you can find structure.
So, yeah.
It's not just for finding fish then.
Right, yeah. Depth finder, honestly, more so than finding fish, you're looking for structure underwater. You're looking for bait pods. There's a ton of other stuff you're looking for. Maybe we'll do a video on what I'm looking for when I've got that depth finder on, when I've got the GPS on the boat.
Yeah.
We're looking for points. If you come up to a point in the lake where there's a point of trees coming out, you have to you almost have to kick in your x-ray vision and know those trees have root systems, so they're the highest point of the lake, and then they go down from there, so there's points and banks, and, there's a lot of stuff out there. So the key is to read the water. I mean, the water is like a book. I mean, it really is. And I've learned over the years that, every page you turn means something different. So you have to be, in the words of Brian, is look for something different. If you're fishing, you're unsuccessful. A lot of fishermen keep doing the same thing, and they go, well, I don't know why I'm not successful, because you didn't change it up. Sometimes it's not the lure that changes it. It's the location. Fish deeper water, fish structure off water, fish faster, fish slower. And if you're fishing the grass and you're not catching anything in the grass, stop fishing the grass.
Yeah.
Get out of the grass.
Yeah.
Throw crankbaits. Change it up. You take a tackle box on a boat for a reason. I've said it a million times. Your mental tackle box, you often forget it. You get into a mental block. You get out on that water. You put that whole tackle box on the boat and you fish with one lure, and you come back and you wonder why you didn't catch fish.
Yeah.
I'll promise you somebody is catching fish on that very lake you're fishing at the same, exact time. They're just doing something different. So if you fish that grass, I give it all 10 minutes. If I'm fishing that grass 15 or 20 minutes in areas that I think are prime areas that should be holding fish, that do hold fish, and you're hitting all those spots, then they're not biting there, then they're not there.
Now, you talking lake or river or both?
Both, honestly, both. Doesn't matter which one you're fishing, you have to be able to change it up. So get out of that grass, throw on some deep running cranks, throw on some, heavy weights and get out to the bottom, or look for that offshore structure. The problem about a Florida fisherman, and I've said it a million times, we are shallow water fishermen, and we find it really hard to fish deep water. And I am in no exception to the rule. But I've learned over the years, tournament fishing, sometimes you got to go to that deep water. Sometimes you just get off and find you a lower point and run that, that lipless crankbait. And that's one of my favorites. Then you can start putting fish in the boat. It's happened to me 1,000 times. I always resort to that lipless crankbait. When I'm fishing the grass and it's not producing, man, I'll go out. Some people go, I'll put a worm on and I'll fish heavy. Whatever it takes to get out there a little bit deeper and fish a little bit slower. Sometimes, it's just reaction.
Try the Texas rig.
The Texas rig is definitely one of the
I'm just
top
saying
that usually works.
Texas,
so
Florida rig.
And now with the water cooling down, I think Hector said it in the beginning. It's going to get cold soon. That means big bass, and it does. Bass spawn around that 65 to 70 degrees no matter how many times a year it reaches. So we're going to be coming into another spawn coming up. It'll be a short one, so be ready. It's going to
probably going on like right now.
Yeah, the water. The last time I hit the water temperature was the other day, and it was about 79 degrees. You know, in some places it was 74 degrees. So, you know.
Because tomorrow's supposed to be cool here.
It's supposed to be super cool. Tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact. So it will cool that water temperature out.
But it's dropping down. Now, see, it's dropping down just temporarily, and then it's going to go back up.
Water temperature. Don't worry about, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Focus on water temperature and not temperature for you.
Got it.
You know what I mean? While it's 40 degrees for you, it's still 79 degrees. It's still 79 degrees in that water. Now, tomorrow it'll be 77 degrees.
Because it doesn't respond that fast.
It's right. They will feel, you know.
Good point.
You know, the surface temperature will cool down, and that'll churn, and it'll cool the whole lake down a little bit. But it's still 79 degrees in that water, 76 degrees, you know. So that cold snap just means we're going to get cold, but not necessarily the fish.
Interesting.
Now, 5 days of 40 degrees, 50 degrees, then we're talking.
Does that information exist anywhere? Like these fisherman apps or even on the FWC? Do the water temperatures exist, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some. I mean, you can read some books. You can read Bassmaster magazine that I did for years. It's basically information from other fishermen that have, you know. Mm-hmm. If you don't subscribe to Bassmaster or something like that, you know, you really need to. If you're a bass fisherman, read it often. You know, it doesn't matter if it's old issues. Doesn't matter if it's new issues. I mean, the key is that you're getting the same information from 40 years ago to today.
Yeah.
The bass fishing hasn't changed. The lures have. You know what I mean? And we think, oh, that's an old lure.
Yeah.
Well, that old lure.
That's a really good point.
I mean,
yeah.
Kevin Van Dam won a classic off of the lure that they quit making 10 years prior to the winning the classic. It was a Rattling Rogue. I've got several of them, and I knew they quit making them, and I love that thing.
That's a Neil Diamond song, isn't it?
It's
Rattling
different.
Rogue?
Yeah, a little bit different. A little bit.
Rattling Rogue?
R-O-U-G-E, Rogue. So, you know, it's so don't be afraid to pull out that old bait, you know, that you haven't used in a while. Don't be afraid to, you know, read some information from years ago. You know, it's same fish, same waters.
Their fashion has not changed over the years.
Their fashion, they don't care. They're just out to eat. You know, we get these crazy baits that work, and that's because we hit them with some. Here's my analogy to why the crazy baits work.
That's a really interesting point, though. As far as our technology has expanded and, you know,
Fish
gone
don't
into
care.
yeah, exactly.
They don't care. You know, the rubber worm. It's been out since the 50s.
It's not like
We're still catching fish on a rubber worm.
The mouse and mousetrap. Everything keeps. They're the same.
Yeah, they're the same. We're changing it. You know, companies have to change to keep up with the time. They won't buy an old lure. Oh, that thing. I remember they were selling that jitterbug 50 years ago. Yeah, and the jitterbug still catches fish.
Yeah.
You know, that's the key.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It still works the same. It still does the same thing. You know, it's what I tell everybody, you know, all the time. They go, you know, why does these creature baits and all these weird baits catch fish? And my simple thing that I say is go to Bass Pro Shop, look in their fish tank, and you'll see shiners swimming around. And everybody goes, well, why ain't they eating those? It's because they're eating those because they can't catch those. Eventually, something will make a dart. They'll get confused, and they'll catch them. But what happens is you'll see that these shiners have a distance that they keep away from all these fish. And it's their safe zone. And the bass know that those fish are in that safe zone. So when they make that dart, they cruise along. But when you throw a creature bait or something weird in the water, the bass has never seen that. They don't know that safe zone exists with this new creature, so they'll make that charge to give it a shot. Now, that's why sometimes you go, well, this bait looks exactly like the bait that's out there. How come nothing's biting it? Because
that's a very angry person who's ever saying that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying stuff, Mike.
Angry.
Yeah, I'd like to have that guy on the show. Why are you saying all that
He's
stuff?
angry. I don't know.
He's angry. So, you know, and I'm like, you're fishing with the baits out there. Sometimes you got to slow it down a little bit and let them get closer. Sometimes, you know, most of the time they're hitting that bait when it's literally running right in front of them. I'm like, hey, man, you're going to come to me. I'm eating you.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's law of averages. The more cast you make, the more chances you have of catching a fish. So that is literally fishing in a nutshell. 1,000 casts versus 100 casts, you're going to catch 5 times more fish on 1,000 casts than you are on a hunter cast. And Kevin Van Dam has proved that 1,000 times because he's the world's #1 fisherman, period. And his deal is throw that bait out there a lot of times, and you're going to catch a lot more fish. Whew, man, I just talked myself into a frenzy.
It's incredible perspective, though.
It's yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, to think of that, that has never changed with down under.
Ever.
Under the surface
They
of
don't
water.
care.
We're throwing all this new technology and dropping it in.
Under
but
that water, it's still 1950.
Yeah.
1920,
Yeah.
1910. Hell,
Yeah.
they don't know the difference. It's you could pull out the same thing that that George caught the
It's a
world
really
record on,
interesting
and
point.
they would still bite that lure.
Yeah. And they're still biting for the same reasons.
For the exact same reasons.
Yeah.
Hunger, curiosity, anger, and just absolutely just because they want to.
Yeah.
There's very few reasons a fish bites. And reaction, we want to make sure that they bite. And it hasn't changed since the beginning of fish time to right now.
Yeah.
Under the water, it's the exact same day. They don't know the difference. You know what I mean? They just know, I got to spawn, I got to eat. Voila. You just pretty much wrapped
Well, that's
up.
encouraging because some days I go through the day and I'm like, you know what? It just feels like a rat on the treadmill.
If I'm not spawning,
and at least
I
I'm
need
not
to
a
eat.
bass.
At least I'm not a bass. That's a good one to be.
At least I get cool new toys.
But and it works that way with every tarpon. It works that way with snook and
that's
all
an
those
interesting
fish.
perspective,
Yeah.
though, Rodney. It really is.
It's 100% how it works. It's 1910,
Some things never change.
and some things do. You know what I mean? We're changing on the surface.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Just goes to tell you, oh, there's a prophet here. Never change under the surface. Always change on the surface. Right? Something like that.
Let's massage that one.
Let's
Let's massage it before we turn it into a T-shirt
let's
or bumper sticker.
let's work on that one so we can put it on the T-shirt. Marie says, "What happened to you on YouTube that you got smacked?" Episode 141. Watch it and you'll see. It's Mike's fault. Mike got us in trouble. I'm gonna.
That's
blame.
not the first time. You know what? It is. I listen to a lot of resources on what we do here on the technical side. I mean, and there's a lot to it, and this is one of the #1 things right now of people going, what music can I use?
Yeah.
What can I play?
Yeah.
Can I play a clip of somebody else's podcast? Obviously on the Line Cutters one, we played a clip of the Line Cutters promo that we literally pulled off of the Line Cutters website.
Yeah.
You know what? We didn't really think about it. We just did it.
Yeah.
But that's obviously property of
somebody
of network television.
Oh.
They're paying
Yeah.
attention to that stuff.
Oh, Disney World. Matter of fact.
Disney in this case.
Yeah, Disney World.
Because they're all combined anyway.
Yeah.
So obviously, the anything on YouTube or Facebook. Facebook is just as strict.
Yep.
Which right now,
Facebook, he boot you immediately.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, as this is broadcasting, we're on Facebook and YouTube both.
Yeah.
So both are suspect to being scrutinized for any of these
and their
things.
algorithms are running through us right now.
And it's automatic. It's not somebody sitting there listening to every episode. It's the same way your Shazam and your iPhone can tell you what song's playing. Same kind of algorithms that are playing that can identify these things like that.
Somebody is 37 weeks behind.
But what we haven't done yet, and this is a big thing, and I'll close it up before our quarter runs out. But what we haven't done yet is we don't monetize any of this. Meaning
that exactly.
And this is a flipping point for YouTube especially.
That's what's saving us, I believe.
They want you to monetize.
Yeah.
Because when we make money, they make. I mean, it's a feeds the machine, but we don't make money off of people clicking on our videos, or we don't run advertisement.
Right.
But they want you to.
Yes.
So, but
it's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. So as soon as you start doing that,
man,
the
reins are pulled in.
It is technical, and I'm not a lawyer, and we're still fumbling our way through this. But we've been slapped a couple times. Even one of our produced videos that we put out, had a flag up there, but it was legit.
Yeah.
All of the music we use is purchased and licensed.
Yeah.
I make certain that anything that we put out on the air is legit.
Right.
Except for maybe pulling a commercial off of Vance's website.
Which, and they said in there that
Vance
you're
doesn't
not
have
in trouble.
Yeah, right. And Vance doesn't have rights to that just because it was his episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He probably had permissions where we didn't.
Sure, but a website is different than
Yeah.
YouTube. They're going to get you if you're funneling it through their channel.
So if it comes down to it, if we were monetized, actually, I believe we'd already had that
It'd
strike.
probably be a different story.
Yeah, we'd have that strike. But no one's making money off of it. We just posted it. So
Yeah, so that's what it was, Marie. But we're figuring this out.
But we're gonna fix that. We're just gonna get in there and snip that out and let them have it their way.
Yeah,
So.
because especially that was one of our favorite episodes. We want that one.
Actually, it was. Yeah,
we want that one to continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, we got the camping trip coming up this Friday. We're going to be hashing out a lot of the details, and we will have it up. Mike, do we have a time when we might have all the information up?
It'll be up by the weekend.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll have up the information.
What is the date? You should tell me, though.
The date is December 2nd.
Because I'd like to come.
It's December 2nd and 3rd.
That's crazy.
So that's almost a month away. I mean, that's a little over a month and a week.
Say that, but my
yeah,
goodness.
it flies by. So this last month we've got a lot of preparation to do, and we're hoping they got a new dock at the island. There's a lot of stuff coming, so we'll be checking on the island periodically to see where we're at.
It's November next week.
I know, man. Thanksgiving's. We went into Home Depot the other day. The Christmas stuff is already out. It ain't even Halloween, Mike. The Christmas stuff has already hit the shelf. So, it ain't even Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are doing next week, but next Tuesday night is Halloween, and we're gonna have a show.
We're gonna have a show. We're gonna let's see if we have a show. Yeah.
Yeah. To be determined, but
Yeah,
watch Facebook for
watch
announcements.
Facebook for announcements.
Unless the ghouls get us.
Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's already over. I hate it. Marie said, "Thanks, Mike." Our show's over. So hang out with us. Give us a like. Give us a share. Give us whatever you can. That's the best way we can get paid.
Yeah.
And we don't make any money off of it, but it's just good to see everybody out. Jeremiah, Lisa, it was so awesome to meet you guys. We're glad you jumped on the boat that day.
Those are the moments in life that make it worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. We may have made some friends for life. Well, I think we did anyway. So thank you so much. Mike, you got anything?
Negative.
And as my mama said 18 gazillion times, and I pray I get to say it half as much, and you know how much I love my mama.
I do.
You kids get outside and stay.